Okay guys, welcome back. Today I'm gonna explain how I personally make my explosive style, which is actually really easy once you figure out how to work with it. It's more about how you put things together, then that's actually really hard or really insanely high level. Obviously you need some skills, but it's quite easy. Most of the moves I'm right now gonna explain, I sort of did a tutorial for. I already knew the move, so in other words, but I put them together in a way that makes it very explosive and cool to see, guys. And that's what we're gonna learn today, how to use these moves to get very explosive style, right? Because most b-boys sort of have the same style more or less with flow and all that stuff, and that's cool. But if you want to sort of get that explosive movement, like wow, that's the power, we can use this. There's actually two versions of this. One is very simple, guys. You need very good power moves and freezes and all these freeze combos. If you can do that, and you can stack that together, like you can go from the flare to the air check to the elbow to the 1.5 air flare but land on your shoulder and walk. You know, obviously that's all that stuff is explosive. It's more or less using what they call power tricks, right? Sadly, you need a very high and solid level for that to use it, and especially use it correctly and looking nice. So if that's your goal, you know, you got your work cut out of you. The main thing in that case is obviously just normal power moves like air flare and flare, and very solid elbow hook, hand hook, and all that stuff that you can combine, right? Those two things are your goal, preferably on both sides, because if you master both those things, you can combine them together and you know, like basically make stuff like what Phil does or whatever these wrestling kids do. You know, this is more for the less people that don't have that still want to do some explosive moves like me. I'm quite old, 44, and my moves seem very hard, but actually they're quite easy. Let's get to it, guys. I did a tutorial on the what I call chest 1.5, but I'm gonna explain it's actually just a swipe 1.5 more or less, right? So I'm gonna explain this quickly. When we're in this little swipe position right here with the legs forward, I'm gonna place this other hand right here, and now I'm gonna jump like this. See that? And I'm gonna punch my hand under like this and follow my back. Now, as you can see, that's totally not explosive at all, but that's because I'm now not jumping it. You can still use this hand. Don't worry. I use this hand all the time. People don't see it. It just looks like a twist. So if I do the exact same move, I'm gonna add a small move to it like this. Boom, I can jump a 1.5 swipe, and that already gives you a very explosive movement. In the tutorial, which you can check out if you want, I explained it from the spider freeze, and that's because you land almost on your chest, which is yet again some very nice effect because you come from low, right? But easy enough. You can pretty much do this. If you're like, think, man, that looks very hard, just place your hand, here you go, and you jump. That's the whole movement. But you know, with more power, and at some point you do hardly use this hand anymore, you don't use it, yada yada. We learned the 1.5 swipe more or less, that's what I'm gonna call it. But that swipe position is super easy to implement all the time. We can use this from all kinds of moves. Let's say you do flare. I'm using the flare. I did one round of flare, I just jumped in this position. I don't even need the hand anymore because I'm gonna jump into 1.5 swipe immediately. But instead of landing, you know, in the tap move, I like to do that nutcracker move, something like that, and jump into that, right? So that's it. So I'm gonna teach you guys a very simple way that I also use. I actually did a tutorial on this move too. It's called angle flip, and it's super easy. Everybody can do it, even if you can't do flips. You place your hand inwards towards your feet, basically a power move entrance, but for me it's the other way. And we simply jump forward. It looks like this, right? Not explosive at all. That's why we try to slightly jump that move. So it gives the illusion that I'm actually flipping, even though my hand's on the floor and I'm just falling. Bam. Now remember, we just landed in that 1.5 swipe position. So this is what you need to learn to make it style explosive, is stack these combos together. I like to do a little small thing with my arms, like I like to hang them, do a little swing, jump, jump. Right? 2 jumps is explosive. 1 jump is just an explosive move which everybody uses, right? So we make this little swing with the arms, and we jump, bam, right, we get to our back. So, easy enough, explosive in itself, just a small explosive combo in your style, right? But we want to keep that concept going. If you're on your back, basically the goal is to keep the power and the swings going, and you can do this in many ways. Now, if you can tap mill, but you tap mill to the freeze like this, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm doing single tap mill, and from here I just go to my freeze, and from the freeze I simply glide by pushing, glide, right? You can also use this in your flow, it's just fine. So we just landed on our knees, and all you need to do is this move. You swing your arms up till here, then you pull your body. Whoa, see, my body goes up. Lift the hip and jump to your feet. Easy, right? Alright, so we did the 1.5 swipe or whatever we did, right? Can be anything. And I just use a little glide or something to get to my feet, or anything I want. And from here, we're simply gonna make another jump. This time we use an inward twist because I already sort of explained this in another tutorial. I don't know what tutorial this channel has too many tutorials. But when you can just jump backwards like this. See that? I'm placing my hands, and now I just jump in the air and hold the hang freeze for a split second. That's it, that's all you need. Notice that I fall, it doesn't matter. Now with the swipe you punch under, just punch with your other hand and you land on your back. If you place your feet first, it's 100% safe, guys. Bam, on my back. So combining this stuff gives an explosive style. See, we did the 1.5, we glide, right? You can use some flow and footwork in between, that's also what I use. So for instance from here, I make a small backward move like this. So it's like tuck, tuck, hip or roll, jump on my feet. From the kip up, I did a tutorial on this move. I did a tutorial on every move on the world. From the kip up, even if you fall, if you can't skip up well, it doesn't even matter because immediately you jump back. So you can keep these combos going. That's also a way to keep it very explosive, but usually it's kind of stale to do the same move 40 times. Do this once or twice is more than enough, guys. Take a look. I'm on my back right now. I roll back, skip up, jump, twist, tack, footwork, skip up, jump, twist, right? Adding this to the first move, boom. Very explosive movements in one run, right? So, using this jump gives us a very low position. And I personally prefer that. Now back in the day I was very good at flips, and now I actually really suck at them. But if you can do stuff like, you know, flips like backflip and stuff, if you can add that, very cool. You just jump on your feet. Just do that backflip and do a coin drop after, something like that, right? So then, yet again, you get a very explosive move if you can do these combos. Personally, I always try to prefer my own weird flips. So I want to give you guys one more, but not too long, because you know you can't really bite all my shit, but the concept's still the same, right? You can use that, combine this with that, and boom, very explosive run, right? So that's cool to have. So if you know the Makaku monkey flip, hey, I did a tutorial on that move. I did a tutorial on every move in the world apparently. But anyhow, it's a very easy move. It comes from capoeira. But when you place your hand backwards like this, you can just flip back like that. It's super easy. Check out my tutorial or any tutorial, everybody can do that. You can also do the same move with two legs. It's almost like a back handspring, but with one hand to the side, and you keep both legs together. See that? See how easy it is? It's an easy move, but that's not explosive. Everybody can do that. So let's try to jump it like it's a back spring while still doing the same move. This way we get slightly more explosive moves. Boom. And now from here, we're gonna do the one with the one leg. Boom. Now, if you can coin drop, I did a tutorial about coin drop. You can just combine it, right? So we get very explosive movement yet again. Let's see. Back, coin drop, right? So as you can see, very, very explosive. But we're not done. We can add moves to this. if you do a jumping windmill behind it, what you get is sort of a cool move because it comes from those combos. So if you just do from your back a windmill with a jump, it ain't explosive at all. My grandma can do that, right? But if you add this to it, it gets very explosive because of the stacking of the explosive moves. Let's take a quick look. Jump back, jump back. Now we're gonna do an air chair and twist. So, the air chair twist, or even, I'm not sure if you want to call that an air chair, but it's actually just a freeze twist. It's exactly like the other move, you just turn it, boom, then to back again. Easy, right? This move combined with that move, combined with that move, combined with that move, gives a very explosive style. There's a big downside to this style. If you go to ciphers and they're getting smaller, doing this kind of shit is hard. It's hard or dangerous, or you know, you need insane control to do that. So that's the one downside, and it's not always cool. The other downside is it's so explosive, so no, you're not flowing at all. You want to also train that a bit, that you can at least use that. If you're very good at power moves, obviously add these moves to it, right? And that's one way to do it. If you do this is one I use just to give it a quick example, right? I used to be quite good at air flare, now I actually really suck at that move. But if I just do one air flare and land on my feet, like this, all I'm doing is one air flare, I get out of the air flare, and all I do is this. Bam! I'm actually in that 1.5 swipe position, see that? So if I want, I can do the 1.5 swipe. I can also just do a swipe, or what I like to do is Makaku gainer. You know, like very explosive, and then combine it with another freeze. That's one way to do it. Another way, what I like to use is simply jump to my feet, and that's even easier. You don't even need to do the one without hands. Let's take a look. I'm going to do one air flare, just jump on the feet, and then remember this jump backwards. I just do it to the other side, and I prefer to not use my hand in this case. Just punch. That's it. One little small backflip to your back. That's it. So let's take a look. I'm doing a single air flare like this. To my feet. Jump back. Slide. Up. Jump back. Up. 1.5. Look at how explosive all that shit is. One move, boom, boom, the other. Right? Now, in my style, my personal style, I land on my back all the fucking time. Like, that's my thing. Twist to my back this way, do these crazy jumps, do these power moves. The trick here is to find your flow in and out. So you go, or after you got the moves down more or less, is to not always use the same back rocks in and out of your moves. For instance, I'm on back right now. Let's do a roll back to our knee and glide out with this little thread move, right? Transition, boom, glide, ground swipe, or windmill, right? Adding power moves to this mix will give it even more explosiveness and will calm your style down, guys. So that's my way of doing explosive moves. The conventional way is actually pretty similar, except you do elbow to hand, to left, to hand, to up, air chair, jump to your feet, do an applejack to an air chair. That's like free stacking, but on the highest level, combined with power move, and you get very, very, very explosive moves. Always cool to see. Add flips to that fucker. Very nice. Add flow style explosiveness to that fucker. Very nice. Like Nagin, he doesn't really do blow-ups the same as someone like, you know, like the Japanese guy who does this a million times, right? But it's still very explosive. Guys, that's how I do it. Hopefully you learned something. See you next time.